Alrighty, so Valenti comes out tonight into tomorrow morning, depending on time zone stuff. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I have watched a couple of different people use her in runs, and I just want to sort of give an opinion, I guess, or you can weigh in with your opinion in the comments if you want. And I just wanted to say, whether or not you should summon or not, because this is it's been a very hectic couple of weeks as far as like banners goes. Like, over the past like 2 months, a lot of these banners have been very, very like good-ish, or not bad, but like good in the sense that you probably want to summon for these, bad for your wallet, bad for your gems. So one thing that I like about Valenti getting the unit instead of like a brand new unit is that you don't necessarily have to buy new costumes or anything. If you've invested into Mark II Valenti at all, which I basically had not before this, I went ahead and bought the extra outfits and everything just to make sure that I'm kind of on top as much as I can be, because obviously you don't want her to be targeted or anything. You kind of want your Liz to be targeted whenever you use her. If you haven't built the Holy Relic, by the way, you could. It's not like a must-have Holy Relic. It's just going to increase her own attack by 40%, which is pretty good, but she's not necessarily like a damage dealer. She's kind of there for like DOT stuff. So it's kind of interesting. She is kind of a cool character in the sense that, she does kind of help make the fight a lot easier. Floor 3 is a lot more doable with this character, and she makes it to where you can run Gloxenia as well, which is pretty good because Gloxenia has not really been super useful ever since he got an LR, so this is going to give him a little bit of use. If you made him and you were like, hey, I'm kind of disappointed that I don't even get to use this character, that can be kind of a reason to try to get him or get her, but I don't know. It's a bad time, obviously. Like banners lately, you had to go in for the the Arthur banner, and then people really wanted the Gelda, and then now there's Gother, and a lot of people skipped Gother, which is fine. And they were like, hey, we're just gonna save up for either the collab or we're gonna save up for the JP Annie. And now we're getting this banner. There's also some leaks from 7DS Leaks in his Discord, where apparently it is all but confirmed that the next banner is going to be Shield Hero Part 2. So there's also a collab after this one. If you're not interested in collabs that much, you could probably go ahead and grab a copy of this character and still have a little bit of time to save for JP Annie. Not a lot of time, granted. But the problems with this character, it's a 600 banner. The banner itself is pretty bad. Like, the only good thing on here that you'd even want to pull, more than likely, is the blue Roxy, and she's on a lot of banners more than recently. So it's not like she's not going to be on upcoming banners or anything like that. They typically put her and Tyr on a lot of like big festival banners and stuff like that, as like to help sort of like bring value to the banners. So this isn't necessarily like an exclusive unit by any stretch of the imagination. You're basically just going to be summoning for Valenti herself. We do get one free multi on the banner, so that is good, but obviously 0.5% is not great odds. So if you do pull her off the free summon, that's huge, like big W. But if you don't, it is what it is. You're going to have to either summon or skip the banner. I wish you all the best of luck with your free summon, because honestly, it would be awesome to pull her off of that alone. So we are going to be summoning tomorrow night. If you are around, as soon as the banner drops, we're going to summon for her. Probably try to go for a floor 3 clear if we can. I mean, because this character is not going to have any real use in PvP or anything. That's basically just going to be like what the agenda is for tomorrow's stream. We're just going to summon for the character, try to fight Ratatoskr floor 3, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there are a couple of events and stuff that come out with it as well, but it's nothing crazy. This is what the character does if you haven't seen the translations yet. So the big thing here is that she is going to be increasing the attack-related stats of the team by up to 40%. And she's going to increase the HP-related stats by 20%, which is, really nice. So the big thing here is if all allies participating in battle are different races. So I think that the Gloxenia setup is probably going to be pretty relevant for a while. If you already have the current setup, which is, it's DK Melee, Liz, Jelly King, and Ragnarok Merlin. It is not a great setup, I'll be honest. The Merlin dies way too quick. Jelly King can also die a little bit easier as well. He's not like a super well built up character. They're both kind of using old stats and stuff. But if you can already beat floors 1 and 2, I would say that there's not any real rush, because I mean, at the moment, we only have one relic. It's Mael's relic. It's not, it's good. I actually used it the other day. I'm planning on doing like another showcase with it on my own account, because we used it on Gon's account. And because he has 18 million box CC, the information there's a little skewed. So I want to make sure that it's still actually good on my own account as well. But that's the only relic that we have at the moment. I'm not sure how often they're going to do relics, and if we go by past, experiences, they don't put out relics all that often. They typically only release relics during like big festivals and stuff like that. Whenever there's like hype stuff going on, they typically throw another relic or two out there. So I would imagine we more than likely, this is all speculation, take it with a grain of salt, we more than likely won't get another relic until the JP anniversary. So between now and then, if you can already beat floors 1 and 2, you can get enough for a relic. I guess you could make Mael's relic and then start working towards a second relic, but if you don't make Mael's relic, you could completely save up enough materials to make a new relic as soon as it drops during JP Annie if you really want to. Completely up to you, of course, but she seems good. She seems very usable. She seems like she's actually helping with the fight, which is great. It's just a really bad time for this banner to come out, of course. The fact that it's a 600 banner does really suck. I am not a big fan of that. I think when they gave out Thonar, it was a 242, and a lot of people have been talking about that, saying that this really needed to be a cheap banner. But I think your best case scenario, if you're thinking about summoning, is to wait. Obviously, you will miss out on 1 week of Ratatoskr materials, but if you're on global and you wait the 2 weeks right before the banner ends, we will actually get to see what the next banner is, and if it is the Shield Hero collab like is speculated, then you'll be able to see what those characters do, because they come the JP updates come out on Thursdays, so it'll come out on the 25th. And then we won't actually get the update until the 30th, or like the night of the 29th into the 30th for me. So that gives a couple of days for the JP players to actually start showcasing the new units. You can tell whether or not you actually want to get them or not. Sometimes it's a little early, depending on like how good or bad the unit kind of is. Like sometimes it can look like they're really good and then they kind of fall off and stuff. So kind of take some of that with a grain of salt as well. But you should be able to at least get a pretty decent chunk of info on the banner, like see whether or not it's characters that you really want to pull for. I know a lot of people just like pulling for collab characters in general because they're so exclusive. So if that's the case, you probably want to already skip this one just outright. But yeah, I think for most normal players, like the only reason I'm summoning is because I typically summon for every banner, and I would like to start getting relics at a decent pace if they do start to ramp up production. Yeah, I think if you can already beat floors 1 and 2, you're probably chilling. You probably don't necessarily have to have this unit. It'll take you, I think, 4 to 5 weeks to get the materials that you need for each relic. But then again, like I said, they don't really come out with relics all that often, so if there's only a new relic coming out like every 2 months or so, that's still enough time for you to sort of save up for it. So just personal opinion there. If you have any thoughts or opinions on the banner, the character, anything, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Hopefully you guys have good luck with your summons if you do summon. If you don't and you're just doing the free multi, God, I wish you I wish you the best. I hope you get him or get her, because it's going to be a nice character to have in the future. Even if you're not worrying about Ratatoskr right now, just having it in the box ready to be powered up when you do get around to it will be nice, because you won't have to rely on the unfeatured rates and stuff, on regular banners where she's not obviously guaranteed. So that's always my biggest worry, is like, if I skip this character, am I even going to be able to pull them in the future? Because like summoning over and over and over on a banner for a different character in hopes of pulling an unfeatured unit, it's terrible. It's the worst, actually. I absolutely hate it. So those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. If you enjoyed the video, you learned something, or it was helpful in any way, feel free to subscribe. We're on the road to 20K. And yeah, I will see you guys. I think this is going to come out Monday morning, so it should be later on tonight that I go live whenever the banner actually drops. So feel free to stick around. come by and hang out if you're awake, or depending on your time zone and everything. We will be summoning and messing around with the character a little bit, so it should be fun. It's always cool to chat with you guys and stuff while I mess around. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. I'll see you guys later.